In this video, I do my first absolute advanced division.
You have a pyramid of shit that's important. It feels like at the bottom is wrestling.
My previous couple tournaments, I encountered a ton of guard pullers. So in order to counteract these butt scooters, I decided to hatch up a new idea. I was going to disguise myself as one of their own. The spats under shorts and the long sleeve fit, there was no way to tell me apart from an average guard pull. With this, we'll begin our first match in the absolute purple belt to black belt division. Immediately as this match begins, I look to Uchimata, my opponent, but he does a nice job countering with the front headlock. He gets over eager and tries to take my back, but I'm able to get 2 underhooks and return him back to the mat. I then make the white belt mistake of getting swept with a basic head and arm sweep. This was only able to happen because he trapped my arm and I was unable to post. Feeling like a complete white belt for a second, my opponent decides to return the favor. He fails to get the head and arm choke on me because I keep my back to the mat. He starts looking for my back. I decided that no, I would be the one who's going to take your back. You're not going to be the one who takes mine. I did my best Houdini impression and reappeared behind his back. I locked in that tight rear naked. It's right on his neck here, so all I'm looking for is to throw my hooks in, squeeze, and get the tap. Yeah, I knew I got away with a little bullshit there. Securing that dub, we move on to my next match. This match, I know I'm going against a fellow wrestler. Strength is going to be stand-up, and his weakness is going to be jiu-jitsu. Easiest path to victory is to win another bullshit scramble or get a leg lock on him. This match starts off, he fakes an ankle pick. I look for that front headlock right after he goes too low, but the front headlock is way too loose on him, so I'm thinking about shooting as he stands up. But he does a nice job of getting his hips back and controlling my wrist as I shoot in here. We then return to the center of the mat here, and he hits a really clean elbow pass to take my back. After feeling like a complete buffoon for a second here, I'm able to get 2 hands on his head and turn into him, and at this point, I know I'm able to recover and get him into his guard, which is his weakness and my strength. Then tries to scramble back up, and I look to take his back here, but he does a really nice job of keeping that underhook, uses it to throw me, and I scramble back up. And at this point, I'm looking for a darce on him, but I get way too overeager, and I don't have it fully locked, and he sweeps me here. So I then say screw it, I throw up a fake buggy, and I start to scramble back up, but he locks his semi-crucifix position here. However, since he's a wrestler, his jiu-jitsu isn't his biggest strength here, so I'm able to scramble back up, do another Houdini impression, and follow him back to the mat while throwing my hooks in. After some hand fighting on the ground, I'm able to secure that rear naked, cinch it on his chin, squeeze, and get the tap. Another solid victory off of a scramble, but my next opponent would be my hardest. My final opponent was a black belt I've trained with before. He's an ex-MMA fighter, but I knew his one weakness, his cardio. My goal was to gas him out this match. Immediately as the match starts, I look to shoot my double. As I'm driving, he starts to look for that guillotine, so I look to get on the right side so he can't threaten that choke anymore. Unfortunately, I'm not putting enough pressure on him from north-south, so he's able to scramble out. He starts looking for that double or single as he's coming out, but I look for that Kimura grip so I can look to either go for a submission or take his back here. And here I'm able to spin it around, but I make a huge mistake. What I should have done was wrap my arm holding the grip around his bald, shiny head, but I just held it there and he was able to scramble out. At this point, I know I'm in pretty deep water. He has a very tight head and arm choke here, but my goal is to maintain some distance. I'm trying to answer the phone and buy me just enough breath to get out and free my elbow. Unfortunately, he recaptures my elbow again and puts me back in head and arm triangle jail. And after making a ton of gurgling noises, I'm able to turn out to the side to buy myself some air. I'm able to free myself here, so I look to re-attack. I scramble up with the double leg. He jumps another guillotine, but I jump over to the right to clear myself out of any danger. At this point, I accomplished my goal of gassing him out. Not the smartest method to gas him out, but it worked nonetheless. Then I hit a pretty clean roll through to sneak behind and take his back here. I'm able to reach for that far shoulder, and I begin to lock everything up. This is advanced division, so pretty much anything is legal, including face cramps. So knowing that rule set, I begin to squeeze over his chin, and I'm able to get the tap to secure the victory and the $50. Because registration fees were $45, I made a total profit of $5, so you could say I'm rolling in it. Things I gotta work on is to stop putting myself in bad positions and rely on my scrambling. I think against every single opponent, I either give up my back or a really bad position to them in this tournament. While I was able to get away with it with my scrambling this time, that won't happen every single time. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for supporting. We just hit 10K, which is a huge milestone for me, and I couldn't have done it without you guys, so thank you.